So everything you wanted to have happen, everything you wanted to have to do was going to have to be a part of where you wanted to be, I guess. And no one ever had to worry about whether or not you were going to have to think that I wanted to be a part of what you wanted to have to say, and anything I wanted to have to do to try and tell you that no one was ever going to really tell you what you wanted to have happen. And no one ever had to worry about whether or not I was ever going to have to do anything you didn't have to want me to do. And I never had to worry about whether or not you were going to want to do anything with me. And I never had to worry about whether or not you were going to do anything with me in the first place. And I never had to worry about whether or not you were going to do anything in the first place last time. And no one ever had to worry about whether or not you were going to say anything. And I never had to worry about whether or not you were going to know that I had to shake my arm out because I'm not breathing right if I don't keep talking to you. I need a better microphone where I can stand up and talk and like yell and shout and things, or be hanging out with someone and not have to worry about whether or not I'm going to have to do anything. You never had to worry about whether or not I had to shake my arm out still, because it doesn't make any sense that you think that the body pains just start happening when I'm talking in a certain way, because I'm breathing in a certain way. Because what is this besides breathing different? Do you know how many times you wanted to say anything about what you wanted to have to do in the first place to ever have to worry about what you were going to have to say to anyone else the last time you ever wanted to worry about who you were, and the last time anytime? I never had to worry about whether or not I was going to have to say who I was, and whether or not I ever had to say what I was going to have to say to anybody in the first place anyway. So no one ever had to worry about whether or not I get actually stiff-bodied where I can't even breathe right if I stopped shaking my hand out, and it didn't make any sense what you thought I had to do in the first place to try and say exactly what I wanted to say. And nobody ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to say anything that you wanted me to hear. So no one ever had to understand exactly what you wanted me to do in the first place and the second time anyway. Ouch. And any time that you ever wanted me to know about what was going to happen or what was going to do, that I was never going to even try to say anything about what you were going to have to do. And the last time that you never had to worry about what you were going to have to say, so the least place, then you never had to worry about exactly how many times I was going to say who I was in the first place, the second time anyway, and the last time. And the first time that you ever wanted to say who I was, you didn't have to worry about whether or not I was going to say anything in the last time anyway. So like, don't worry about whether or not I was going to say it. Don't ever have to worry about whether or not I was going to get out of breath trying to talk. It's just because I wasn't shaking my body out. So, that arm apparently is really messed up. So look about what you were doing. You're going to have to worry about whether or not you're doing something different. You understand if you had, like, you were growing horns on two sides of your head? That, like, what do you mean two sides? It's the forehead. Listen, understand what you're doing. But, like, you'd have to, like, if you were, like, messing with one for, like, 3 hours, you understand you need to fuck with that one. And it might never happen to the other one. Well, like, why would it? So understand what you were doing, which is never the same thing as the other. You had two circles and you were measuring them out according to pi. You were really going to fuck up when you needed symmetrical circles. You understand you needed to carve them out to each other? That's circles. You need to make it even to itself. You're better off if you needed circles carving them out to themselves. So understand that if you're going to do that, you're going to understand where you are in the first place anyway. You're going to have to know what you did to build a car that had to have interchangeable wheels on it and tires. That's not a good car, but you have to know exactly where you come from, so you have to understand what you were going to do. When I used to ride a motorcycle, it was really fast. But you didn't have to know if I was robbing or not to know that. No, I was. But like, you know what a robin is? It's the best acrobat in the world. It's a tree sparrow. So like way crazy fucking impossible acrobats. And Batman doesn't mean what you thought it meant. The kanji for it is for man is water or life. Yeah, so like spring, you could say. Right. So like if it's there, you have to understand that's what it meant. Which with bat there for that, but it's one name there together. It means beast. So you understand that part of what you were going to have to say. It's Batman. It's not. It was a China sound. R2D2 made the world and the language for it, I guess. So you need to understand whatever you're doing in the first place. It's going to have to be that Batman's predates the sun and he predates bats. Once the bat, the life form is the life. It's not beast, but it's a bat. Then you don't have the other kanji. You have a new one for it. It's that instead of the two kanji. That means it's this. Batman. It's all well designed together anyway in the first place. So like, yeah, bats can fly, or Batman can fly, and Robin can fly. That's an obvious thing in the real world. But wherever you wanted to worry about whether or not my kanji was going to be as cool as his, it's Ray of Arc. So that's good. The last time I had to worry about what I was going to have to say or do, or any kind of a different kind of an equation where I wanted to say exactly who I was in the first place the second time anyway, and whether or not you wanted to know about whether or not I could do anything about whether or not I was going to have to hang out with people who were cool and people who wanted to talk to me about anything I wanted to have to try and do. No one ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to have to try and sing and say what I wanted to have to try and do, or who you wanted to have to say about who I was in the first place anyway. Never had to worry about whether or not you were going to have to worry about whether or not you can do anything that you wanted to. So tell me why you never had to worry about whether or not I was going to do something you never had to think I was going to try to do in the first place, or the last time, the first time, anytime you wanted to try. So the first time you ever had to say anything was that you were going to wonder whether or not I was going to have to say exactly about, I was going to have to say exactly about what you wanted me to do. So you wanted me to do anything you wanted me to, and you never had to worry about whether or not I was going to say something to you, and I was never going to have to say anything about whether or not you thought I was never going to have to worry about getting fucked or not. And that didn't make any kind of a different kind of a situation or sense. But look, the whole situation that you wanted to worry about mine, and you never had to worry about whether or not anyone was fucking me, even though I'm a boy. And I know how important fucking is. You think that that's fucked up? You're right. Fucking get fucked. That's your life as a boy. Get to understand whether or not you were going to know about whether or not people were going to have to understand whether or not I was going to be cool the whole time in some kind of a situation, whether or not you wanted to think whether or not I wanted to say who I was, and whether or not I wanted to do who I thought I was in the first place, and whether or not I wanted to have to say who I thought I was in the last time, the second time, any time, and the first time anyway. But never know that really what you wanted to have to do in the first place was never have to worry about whether or not someone was going to fuck up everything they had to say right before they stopped talking, and you thought no one was ever going to care about what you had to say and do just to get where you wanted to go. But I never had to worry about whether or not I was going to have to say exactly what I wanted to say, because you never had to worry about whether or not I was going to do anything that you ever wanted me to do. So no one ever had to understand what you were going to have to say to me, and no one ever had to understand what I wanted to have to say to anyone else. The real world isn't going to be here forever. You think that I wanted to worry about whether or not someone was going to have to say anything about where I was going to go out or something, but I never had to worry about whether or not you thought I was doing things in the first place, and I never had to worry about whether or not you were going to do something different. But look, I hate that tone. Yeah, it really sucks. But look, at everything I ever had to want to say to you is I never had to worry about whether or not you thought it was upsetting and stressful to try to talk into a microphone when I could be doing something else to show you what I was going to have to say. It's not the same voice when you think that I'm sitting there talking to people, at people well enough to say about exactly what I wanted to do. No one ever had to worry about who you were, and no one ever had to worry about whether or not I needed to get the entire internet shut down, and they planned like there was a crazy terrorist attack, and podcasts were illegal all of a sudden, just because I talked a stupid way on the internet, and I shouldn't have. Understand who you are and why you wanted to be in a certain pattern, to understand whether or not you thought anything you ever had to do was going to be free, whether or not the shutdowns have started in the first place anyway. Do you understand what it looks like to have YouTube views and the counter doesn't work right anymore? It's like, it's to keep people from counting their own views up, but like, do you understand that that's just a duh thing? That you can do that, so like people do that and you don't have to worry about it, but then when it gets to hundreds of millions, you were like, I don't think they did that themselves, but they did. So look, understand whether or not it makes any sense to be doing things with addresses that don't have to make any sense. If you didn't like the idea that people could track anyone in your neighborhood, your city, your state, you understand that anyone who knows how to use their computer on the internet can be using an internet service where it's the same IP address, literally the exact same one for every website you ever visited, as a million other people. Understand that it doesn't make any sense for you to think that there's any kind of a way for people to want to understand where they wanted to come from and talk to, but I didn't have to worry about whether or not you were going to have to listen to someone who's an idiot. Listen to understand exactly where you are, because I never had to worry about whether or not you thought I was Mew, because I am. Because whether or not you understood where I was, that name has never meant anything but me, so understand who you were in the first place. It never had to mean anything exactly to say who you were talking to in the first place the last time anyone ever had to worry about who I was. So I understand exactly what I wanted to say, and no one ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to have to say something different just to be me in the first place. I was going to have to worry about what you wanted me to do, because if I was Robin, I was Superman the entire time, and no one had to worry about whether I was Robin again when I was Superman. Look and understand where you were, because I wasn't this one kind of a person, and I was never going to have to worry about whether or not you were going to do anything cool. I was never going to have to worry about whether or not someone was going to do something outrageous and insane and try to tell me exactly what was going on in the world of time, and knowing about whether or not you think there's not a little kid who thinks that I just sound cool anyway, that I could talk in a way in a pattern that he thought was cool, and he doesn't sit there in his room because he got the music file and he listened to this over and over and over and over again, and he sits there thinking he can fly by listening to it. why his breathing changes the whole time and you feel like you're flying? If you're laughing and you're talking to a girl because you figured out a way to talk to her and you thought that you should, for a second, think on the phone and plug your nose, you understand it's going to fuck with your breathing in a lot of different ways. You thought you stopped breathing before you plugged your nose, and it didn't work like that. Your ears popped because you learned that the world that you were in, you was never going to do anything other than what you wanted to say, so you never had to worry about whether or not I was going to say something that didn't make any sense, and no one ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to look about in the first way anyway. And I never had to worry about whether or not I was going to say something. No one ever had to worry about what I was going to do. So I worried about whether or not you were going to say what I was going to have to do. And no one ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to say something that made any sense to anyone but Goku. And no one ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to fight Goku, because that never made any sense for the entire world ever at all. For any kind of simplistic situation that you think that I had to worry about whether or not you needed me in a fight scene against someone who I love forever and always have. We don't fight that. Are you serious? Look at yourself. That's not human motivation. Because I wanted what? To piss? How many people tell you it's hell still and you think that I have time to hurt someone? I don't have music for it. That's time. So understand what you were talking about. Where is September? Time is space. Quick, tell me. Is it a song? Because time is music is space. So understand where you come from, what you wanted to have to do in the first place, and never have to worry about whether or not you wanted to have to say what you wanted to do, and no one ever had to worry about whether or not you were going to have to say exactly what you wanted to do, or whether or not I could have to try and tell you what was going to happen if I had to close my eyes, and no one ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to have to say exactly what I wanted to say, and no one ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to have to think about flying just to be able to talk to you, and I never had to worry about whether or not you thought I was going to try to think about flying a lot more often so I could actually get up in the air and start doing that, but you never had to worry about how much longer I had to exist to try and get into a world where I was going to have any fun and with anyone, but you didn't have to worry about how many eons I lived in the moments between where you go. When I come back to Earth Crisis, you didn't have to worry about whether or not I went and had like a 20-year period in a Pokemon world outside of Tartarus, but Tartarus is dead, so the world is coming apart, and you're going to have to understand exactly what was going to have to happen to the entire world, which is that Kryptonites only ever existed in Tartarus, and there is someone who's working on destroying what green Kryptonite is forever. So understand that everything you ever wanted to do ever had to be exactly what you wanted to have to do, exactly where you wanted to have to say exactly what you wanted to do in the first place anyway. Never had to worry about whether or not you were going to say anything in the first place, whether or not this voice can be tracked by machines. Do you understand whether or not that there's a certain kind of a world where you can stenographize something, or whatever or not it was going to be something different? If I spoke in MLA diction and I didn't have da on words, things like that, do you understand in human patternings for where you go, what you wanted to have to do? Do you know where your accent comes from? It's me. So look at the rest of the world and where you wanted to come from, and the understanding that you ever had to understand exactly where you were in the first place the last time anyway. You never had to worry about what you were going to do, you know? So look at who you are. You had to say, oh, it's not, no. You look, what? You're oh, it's all the way, and you had to mock me and make it sound loud in the microphone. Listen, no one had to tell you what you're gonna do. You're not gonna have to tell you about whether or not you had your eyes closed, and you kept saying that and you said about everything day, and you kept worrying about whether or not you're gonna die or not. You're gonna have sex with your sister, and you didn't have to worry about it. My sister's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You didn't question that when you thought I wasn't in a better position than you. Shut up. What are you talking about? You're calling me gay? There's only one situation in which I could be better positioned than you to have sex with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and not have sex with her, and that would be that I was a horrible, horrible person. So look at the rest of the world that you were in, and no one ever had to tell you exactly what you wanted to have to say, exactly what the way you wanted to have to say anything to whether or not you wanted to go into a world where I thought, what if in the real world we wanted to be brother and sister, and I was Superman, and I could make sure that that was real, that we were related by blood, that was always true about our genetics and our life for everything. You understand that if someone can do that, I can do that? Okay, so I don't have any explanation for my microphone coming unplugged just now. It didn't make any sense to have it happen. But now I'm going to have to fix the entire idea that I didn't have to worry about whether or not my computer were going to fuck with my head And I never had to worry about whether or not you thought I was going to have to do anything for what was going to happen, which is that nobody ever had to worry about what was going to do anything to the world, whether or not you thought there were advanced droids that were still evil and wanted to fuck with my computer, but my computer doesn't have anything on it. You had your computer. I have Jeremy Sumter running my computer. You didn't know that. You didn't understand what was going to have to happen, what was going to have to do, anything I wanted to do in the next world. No, and listen, no one ever had to tell you what I was going to have to try to say, to do in the first place anyway. No one ever had to worry about whether or not you were going to do anything important. The last time I was ever going to have to worry about whether or not you were going to have to say anything over whether or not you had to worry about what I was going to have to say and do. Well, no one ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to say exactly what I wanted to say. Guys, I'm Clark Kent. The real one. How fuck you. I did that to my name. How fucked up and cool that was. Oh my god, what if he is? And it was Clark Kent and you were like, fuck, that's cool. Everything about that I did. So listen. But then you were like, how come you keep acting like a dick about the superpowers thing? You're like not sharing with anybody. I can teach people to fly. You understand less about the narratives than I thought, which is that I never sold my narratives. You tried to tell me that you could build a universe that's the universe and never use it to tell the story that I was doing. So listen, understand that I never wanted to worry about whether or not you were going to kick my ass. What did you think it was going to do? You're never going to have to worry about whether or not I thought I was going to say something that you wanted me to have to say. And no one ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to find out whether or not you thought I listened to a different kind of track for music just to change the way that I was listening to the whole world in the first place. So never have to worry about whether or not you thought I could listen about the way that I was, and whether or not you thought I thought Christian Bale was an evil monster. He's literally the guy who is evil in the Batman story, where like that you guys thought there was a necessary stage where someone had to fill in as Batman. No, but listen, understand that that's because we, like, alright, I want to do some stuff. You go kill the Joker really fast, like kill him, you cut his head off or something. Right, you kill a bunch of fucking people really fast, and you go, alright, I'm gonna go do stuff. And if you needed to, you come back to that exact time you left in. So then understand whether or not you were gonna do anything, because the Joker will come back. He's a monster. You wanted to kill him forever anyway, but not what you wanted to worry about whether or not I could say kill him forever. You understand what I mean? He needs to die forever. No, damn it. Right, he needs to be killing things. Alright, look, who are you? Where did you come from? Why are you here? Are you there? You're at the home? Now, who told you who you were and whether or not I wanted to say exactly who you were in the first place? That was me? No one ever had to believe you about me. I never had to tell you who I was. Yeah, I didn't have to tell you who I was. You lied. You lied. No, not even I didn't. You lied. To me? All the time? Listen, what if that's all you did? Did you know that you were just being honestly you? What if I hated that about you? I called you a liar. No, I called you the sin. Right. So look, how long have you been doing that? Originally, you were doing that. You stopped? No, what? Stopped can't be something you were originally doing. So look at the rest of the way that you were going to have to do, which is whatever one of us wasn't born out of harmony, we're going to have to kill that one. Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah. Yeah, let's kill those guys. And the people who are super good at it, or bat good at it, we'll call those bat heroes. And understand that the way that you are, it's gonna have to worry about whether or not you thought I was gonna be there. But look, who battles heroes? Obviously, I did. So look, what is a hero? A bat hero is a better one. Do they battle heroes? Does Batman get called an anti-hero? Maybe you should have called him a bat hero, because he was pissing off people who called themselves heroes and were recognized as such because he was better, and you pissed him off a lot more. Okay, so we're gonna have to worry about whether or not Superman was gonna be a bat hero or not, which is he is, and whether or not Batman was a superhero. I like that. Like, we could say super instead of bat sometimes. I mean, So look, if we wanted to do that and we wanted to worry about whether or not a little child would say, I'm a superhero, and they were like, that you genuinely mean that, but you were also fucking with me because you think I'm stupid for not thinking that's literally what you're doing. And he's like, I'm a bat hero. And he was like, but like I am. And you were wondering whether or not he invented baseball bats and baseball for that. Do you have one in your room when you see it, and you like when the cameras kick on and someone's in your house, you're like, let's go, and you grab your bat? Did you know that baseball was invented so that you had that? It's true. Listen, the whole world that you wanted to worry about whether or not you thought he was the last samurai, yeah, but like that just means that, like, who was the last one before? Right. So when you wanted to worry about whether or not someone was going to say what you wanted to do, about whether or not I was going to have to worry about whether or not you were going to say exactly what I wanted you to do. But look, guys, I'm Aang. Yeah. Even you thought that I wasn't, but I am. So here we go. I'm still the last airbender. Fucking problem for your story expertise. I explained what that meant and you forgot about it. Who? Yeah, but like when? Avatar state activate? Do you know where you are? Do you know what you wanted to say? Do you wanted to say home? You wanted to go home? You wanted to do it, huh? You wanted to do it? Fucking right? Do that and click your heels together. Oh my god. You were so happy skipping all the way here and you're going home. I found out you were clicking your heels. She was skipping and didn't click her heels to each other. But like tap your heels and say no, there's no place like home. But like, what does that mean? There's no place like home. 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 There's no place like a 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 home. There's no pleasant come. 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 There's unpleasant come. This 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 unpleasant number come. This unpleasant come. This unpleasant come. This unpleasant come. This uncompel gun. This compelling gun. This compelling gun. This uncompel 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 gun. This unpleasant come. 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 This unpleasant come, 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 this unpleasant come. This was never gone, this was never there. Who you say you are, to me I sin. So where you thought you had to never tell me, where you thought you never had to be before, I never thought. I never had to say where you are to me, and I never had to know about whether or not you thought I was there, but you could think I'd be there for someone never there before. This was never gone, 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 this was never gone. There's no place like home. There's no place like a home. There's no place like a home. There's no place like home. There's no place like a home. There's no place like 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 a 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 home. Whenever or not you thought the world that was then, and you said that you wanted to know about where you came from, everyone had to worry about whether or not you wanted to say about whether or not you were going to be who you were in the first place. I never had to worry about whether or not someone was going to tell me who I was, and I didn't have to worry about whether or not someone was going to have to tell me exactly what I wanted to have to say, and whether or not I wanted to worry about who you were in the first place. This was never there, 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 this was never there. This was never home, this was never home, this is never home, this is never home, this is never home, home, home. Home, home, home. Hello, home, home, home. Home, home, home. Home, home, home. Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from here? Why are you here? Where do you go? You know? I'll be here. 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 Be here. I'll be here. I'll be here. Be here. I'll be here. Look how stupid you have to be to understand what happens when you're just sure that can't be the Slayer. But like, god damn it, fuck, she would never be so fucking stupid. Listen, understand where you're coming from. What would you look like? You killed her. I know. What? That's so crazy that a house fell on her body. God, that's stupid. God, stupid fucking person. Look at me, I'm alive. Wow. You know? Gosh, she fucked up. I mean, accident, obviously. I killed her though? Is that what accident means? I don't think that's what that means. I think it means my kung fu fucked up with your kung fu. Yeah, but look, I didn't want to worry about whether or not you wanted to worry about whether or not I wanted to say who you are in the first place, the last time, the second time, any time, the first time anyway. But no one ever had to worry about whether or not I was going to say something that I really really wanted to say to anyone. So I wanted to say something that mattered in the first place for anyone to have to worry about whether or not I was going to say something important. So look, tell me who you are and you won't tell me who you thought you were in the first place. I can do that. I can tell you who I am. Look, guys, I'm the one you... yeah. Who are you? I wanted to say, like, I'm good. Wait, I wanted to say, like, I'm good. 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 I wanted to say like 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 I'm good. But I don't know who you are. 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 Who are you? Come home. Come home now. What situation is that in? Fuck. That's on the phone. I want you to come home. Where do you get with that? Do you guys know where you're going? What if she said something to you and you didn't have to worry about the grammatically response? Right, she said something to you and you were like, you sounded out the thoughts that happened. And you like lay back down on your back. You were like, right away, my thoughts, I was going to do that. Right, so, listen, I need you back here. And you say, that doesn't have to be where my reality was going to be. I'm going to be home, but like, I live here in my body. Yeah, but I live here. I'm alive, I'm here. Right, I live here. What are you talking about? If you don't want to live where you are right now, then that makes any sense for where you were going to go? No. You're sounding... Whoa, what are you fucking doing? You have a kitchen knife? What the fuck are you doing? She said, I have plenty of kitchen knives in the kitchen. That doesn't fucking make me feel good. You think what are you doing right now? I'm not gonna be a fucking serial killer or something. You have to understand why she said you're a serial killer. You're not a serial killer if you kill one person. Like a lot though. So like you say, I'm not worried about the cereal in the fucking house. I'm outside. If we needed cereal, I could get some. What are you talking to me about? About when? About who? I'm not gonna talk. Get home. Alright, get home. If you wanted a home to come back to, you can be here. There's not a lock that can keep me out. I'd live there. But where do you go? Where do I get back? The door. So, at what point, are you fucking with someone? Am I fucking with you? Shit. Are you fucking shit? Seriously, shit. Why are you here? I'm gonna hang up the phone. You're gonna better not fucking hang up the fucking phone. I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'm gonna wonder about why you said you could stay at my house. I live here and you can't stop me from living here. I'm the one who's gonna kick the shit out of you every day that I want to. But like, I don't need you to have recorded that for you to be that insane all the time. So I'll not worry about that. No, I have to still live where I am. Understand what you're going to do, whether or not you were going to say anything in the first place, which is that conversation never happens. Because what the fuck? Look, you got that cool at things right away. That can happen, actually, so that don't worry about it. But listen about what you wanted to say. Understand what you wanted to do in the first place. With whether or not you want to think that I was bored about this conversation, because I wanted to say there's no place like home. And you can't think about what the fuck you're doing, because what do you mean there's no place like home? What does that mean? I'm sounding it out. There's no place like home. Like it? Like it's only a spell for that sound. This unpleasant cum.